Okay. All right. Oh, also, if you press the comments button on the side, you'll be able to see if any comments pop
Yes,
up.
I see now. Well, I don't see any comments, but yeah.
Yes. All right. So I believe we are live right now. We are good to go. Hello, everyone. We will see who rolls in. I am Kelly, and I am live with the one, the only Miss QB Tyler. Yay!
Hi, everyone. Remember's here.
Yeah, fresh off the heels of Steamy Lit
Truly fresh.
of Steamy LitCon. Please tell me how was Steamy LitCon? Did you have fun?
It was so fun. It was so fun. We did it. I did it last year. Did you go last year?
No, I didn't. I haven't gone yet.
We did. So this is my second year. It's the second year they've done it. It's a very well-run event. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The science 2 days wasn't super hectic, but I was pretty busy. I sold out of books, so that's always a plus.
Good. No, I'm sure you were busy.
It was very nice.
Good. I've heard nothing but good things about Steamy Lit. So about how it's run, about how it's organized and everything. It seems like a really nice event. So I just haven't gotten the chance to go. You know, being an East Coast person, it's literally all the way on the opposite side. So I'm like, that's a trip. And like, I know Vegas is on the opposite side too, but yeah, it's a lot. So
yeah, I might be breaking up with West Coast signings after Vegas because it's just such a trip.
I know. And I don't even know how you guys do it when you have to like lug all of those books and like worry about all of that.
Well, usually most authors will ship them ahead. Like
ship them to someone and
or they just say, I'm not gonna have books on my table, bring them.
Yeah.
Which I feel like I should start doing because it is a lot to ship them.
It's a lot, but I'm happy you had a good time. We are here because we are fresh off a brand new release. Hold on, I have him here.
Right.
I was very impressed that I have a good amount of QB books actually up here, but I do have. Here we go. My big copy. Who's that? Daddy Chris.
Daddy Chris.
We have Our Little Secret. Let me tell you also, I was listening to my musical playlist today, which is like 25 hours long. And every time a Hamilton song popped up, I was like, the nerve that when I saw Hamilton, it wasn't because my rich billionaire boss took me.
I'm jealous you've seen it. I want to see Hamilton.
I have seen it and it was incredible. It was great. But I did think of them. So
yeah.
But I guess for people who don't know, what would you like to say about Our Little Secret, the new release?
That it is a very steamy, forbidden office romance. He is married, but he doesn't want to be. He's working on getting a divorce. So it is a little messy. It's a little complicated, a little angsty, but also very spicy. If you know me and you follow me, you know that I love Scandal. I love Fitz and Olivia, and it is a little Fitz and Olivia coded. So we're rooting for them. We are rooting for them.
Mm-hmm. I love I love Scandal as well, but I just love drama in my books. I love mess. I love cheating too. It was so funny. This is true. I just went to the Elena Armas Tessa Bailey event for Elena's new book, and they were talking about tropes that people like and don't like. And then someone said cheating, and they were like, oh, I'm literally in the front row, and they're like, oh, who likes cheating books? No one likes that. And I'm just like, let me be real quiet right now. Since
I would have been like me.
I was this close, but I got nervous because everyone was like, no. But I'm just sitting there and I was like, I don't think you're reading the right kind of books with cheating, because personally, I think it's fun.
Yeah.
And we do have cheating in this book. And this is not your only book that has.
I don't understand how I became this author that writes cheating so much.
How does it feel to have it be part of your brand?
I was like, oh, I don't have that many cheating books. And then I'm like, oh, I have 5.
Yes, you do. She said
6.
She said, "I don't have that many cheating books." Well, you do.
Not half, but it is. Yeah. Oops.
I think cheating is fun. I will defend cheating until the day I die. I think people get a little too crazy about it and be like, "No, how could you? Disgusting." I'm like, "Can we relax? It's a book."
Yeah.
They're not real people. It's a billionaire going through a divorce. Like, they'll be fine.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So Our Little Secret is the new QB release. And again, yes, there is some cheating in here, but don't worry. Once you read it, it's fine. It truly plays out like an episode of Scandal. It's very scandalous. It's very dramatic. It's very fun. You have all of these kinds of characters. And I think it was very, very good.
Thank you. I'm so glad you liked it. It even though there's a lot of people that are like, I don't like cheating. There's a lot of people that are like, I don't like cheating, but I like the way QB writes cheating.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that. I'm like, thank you. I'm glad that you trust me to give you a cheating book. I also don't typically do, with the exception of Forget Me Not, where one cheats on like any of the main characters cheats on the other. Yes. You know, it's always they're cheating together. And we don't usually like the other people. I mean, you just read What Was Meant to Be. Did you like Parker at all?
No. He was irrelevant.
Holly is like more relevant in this book than Parker was in What Was Meant to Be. And like I made sure I was like, I gotta hit home how terrible she is.
No, you do. It's really well done. And that's exactly right. You are just the kind of author in general you obviously write mostly taboo, forbidden, age gap romances. I think you are a good author that a lot of people are like, well, if QB writes this really intense age gap, well, if QB writes someone getting together with their godfather, then I guess I'll read it because it's a QB book and I'll love it. So you were the right person for this kind of book.
Thank you.
You did great, and I loved it. And this is also, if people don't know, technically can be read as a standalone, but also part of this world. Is it called the Secret series? What's it?
Yeah, that's what on Amazon. That's how because you can link them all now. So yeah, I just have it as like the Secrets series, but they're not like listed on the book because I didn't even know when I wrote The Worst Kept Secret that I was gonna like continue in the universe. Yeah. Until I was at the end and I was like, oh, I want to write Reagan's book.
Mm-hmm.
And then after Reagan's book, I was going to write Lucas's book, but then things happened.
Yeah.
I wrote Chris and Marissa's book instead.
Yes.
So Lucas will be next not the next book that I'm planning to write, but they'll be the next in the series. And I think 4 will be it.
Yeah.
Unless I decide to do Rory's book, which you met in The Worst Kept Secret. She's Avery's other friend. Maybe I will do that, but 5 would be the limit.
I vote a Rory book. Just saying. I stand
with her physics teacher.
Yes, I love her. So I think that would be great. But yeah, they do read as complete standalones, which is really, really nice because they take place in like opposite settings. Like Worst Kept Secret is like this one. Oh my god, which I'm holding. Worst Kept Secret is like we're in the neighborhood. It's my best friend's dad. Mm-hmm. Again, scandal. So this book was so good. But again, they read as complete standalones. The people are just connected. There's also the book that happens in between here, Season of Secrets, which is kind of teased in this one, which was cute. So yeah, series, but you can read them as standalones. You'll have a great time. I am just having fun and going through your backlist.
Oh, when I saw you were reading What Was Meant to Be today, I was like, what? I just wasn't expecting it. I thought you'd already read it. So I was like, oh, wow. She was in for a ride. Yeah.
No, because this was kind of what to switch gears. But honestly, these books kind of go hand in hand. I feel like if you like this one, you'll love this one and vice versa. But because this was a book that I low-key for a second convinced myself that I already read because I've read so much of your backlist and everyone and their mother loves this one. And they really talk about this one. And it's, another like really heavy age gap, which I love. And it's, best friend, like parents' best friend. I'm like, this is literally a book that was written for me. So I was like, no, I've read it because I was going to start the audiobook literally like a month ago because I had it. And then I was like, oh my God, I was like, I haven't read What Was Meant to Be. And it was a quick listen on audio, which is really nice. Most of your books now have audio. This one had a simultaneous audio release. So it does have an audio book. In case you were wondering, QB's books on audio are very delicious. I've done a good amount of reading them on my Kindle, and then now as the audios come out, doing them on audio, either way is great. So, but yeah, so I listened to this today in one sitting, basically. Literally one
I love
sitting.
it. I love it.
And it was, I'll never be over it. I'll be chasing the high that this.
Oh, that makes me so happy. Yeah, no, I feel like I'm chasing that high too of that book because I always say that book was like a fever dream. Like I was writing it, I was in like a really bad headspace. It was just the only thing that like made me happy, and I feel like I've not like I don't know how to recreate that, obviously. But it was a great time writing it.
Listen, I don't wish you to go back to the dark headspace, but you really did.
Yeah, no, I think that so before that it was, Love Unexpected, Unconditional, and Always Been You. I feel like What Was Meant to Be was like, I don't know, it was a different kind of taboo. Like it kind of felt more like Unconditional, where like he had been in her life the whole time. Always Been You is like my little outlier taboo book because I don't know why, maybe because he's her brother, but it definitely had very much unconditional vibes, I feel like. Because even in Love Unexpected, like they didn't meet till she was much older. But being the second person that holds her after she was born, that's a special kind of taboo.
I mean, that's literally my top 2 QB books now are Unconditional and This Bad Boy. They just a little different. They just, like you said, are extra special, a little extra taboo, and that's how I like it. But it's interesting because I'll see people who will be like, oh yeah, maybe like Unconditional wasn't for me because like it toes on the line. They're like, it was a little whatever, but then they love this one, and I'm like, you know what, it's your world and we're all just living in it. Everyone feels how they feel about the certain taboo, because then I know some people, even with Forget Me Not, with the amnesia and all of that, they're like, that's a hard trope to sell, and then people love that book, or they feel whatever. So your backlist is it's too fun. It's great. And again, I think you're a great author to try different tropes that maybe you're not, you don't normally read. Because I know I didn't read, I think Forget Me Not may have been like my first amnesia book.
There's definitely not a ton. I mean, it's just not something people do a lot. And like you said, there are people that are like, don't like amnesia, and then like there was cheating. And I mean, I wrote Forget Me Not because I didn't like second chance romances. I've seen the light. I like them more now. But back then, I was like, I want to write a second chance romance that I want to read. So I wrote and I didn't think like, back then I would write something and I didn't have, necessarily as much, not pressure, but I was writing more for me because I didn't have like a huge following. I was just having fun. And I remember when that book came out, it did really well, but since then it has just there's been a resurgence of people finding it. And I think kind of once they start going through my backlist and they're like, oh, this is the outlier. Like, what? There's no daddy in here. I mean, Bennett's a daddy, but like not a daddy to her. Like daddy. And it's amazing that how many people that have like read my whole backlist are like, I love all your books. I love the Daddy Kink, but Forget Me Not's my favorite book of yours. So I'm like, oh, really? I love that.
I see a lot of love for that book. I mean, that book was great. That was one of the first books that I read from you, because I had mutual friends who were like, this is actually my favorite QB book. Like they loved it. And I was like, okay, I had the audiobook and I thought it was great. Yeah. And that was one of the first ones, because I was like, oh, this isn't that taboo. Like obviously there's some cheating, but I was like, it's really just like you said, it's a second chance. He wakes up and he's like, that's my wife. And she's like, no, I'm not anymore. And he's like, yes, you are.
Yep.
So no matter what, you're going to write a man who's like, that's my girl. I actually don't care the circumstances.
Always. It does not matter at all.
Doesn't matter. And I always think it is fun. I love seeing when people, what their favorite QB book is, because truly, again, I feel like it's so across your backlist, which is really fun. So, and you have a really large backlist. So,
It's getting up there. I'm
You're
16
getting there.
now.
You're getting there. Also, I had someone actually ask me this on TikTok a while ago. Is Our Little Secret, is it gonna get a discreet cover eventually or no?
I I don't know. At some point, I might do a concept, because I mean, I wouldn't really say this is not a sexy cover. I mean, he's hot, but it's not like
No, it's just it's a
not like necessarily even needed. But I might
Yeah.
do it just for the sake of like everything being cohesive, because I am going to do a Season of Secrets
Mhm.
full cover. So yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I'll do that. I've been joking around that this has been my year of like doing side quests. Like I'm, putting books in audio. I'm kind of have some things planned for the end of the year. They're not all like books, but they are like things that you might be excited about. And one of them is the Season of Secrets people cover. So maybe like later in the year, I'll come out with an Our Little Secret, discreet.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, for now, I think the people will survive. But if you don't know, basically a very large majority of QB's books, they have really, really hot people covers, but they do have discreet covers as well. I think some of them, a lot of them even have hardbacks too. I love my unconditional hardback, which is somewhere, the blue. They're all blue.
Yes. I like cohesive.
Yes.
Have a hardback, it will be blue.
Yes. I mean, listen, it's the brand. The brand is blue. So, yeah. So, if you were wondering, QB does also have alternate covers. And she even has signing exclusives too, which I found. I was like, I have this somewhere. So, I have my beautiful signing exclusive. This was so cool with the flip. Hold on. It's like that. There we go. So, you got
I love it.
The bind up of the two of them. It's so sick. So go see QB at a signing too. She has fun stuff at her table.
Always have fun stuff.
Do you have this signing exclusive for the rest of the year?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. And I am going to, I think I said this, I said it a few times. I am going to open up a form at the end of the year for that one.
Mhm.
These are all my books. I don't know. It's a lot of work, but definitely for that one, at least for people that, don't go to signings, because all my other books you can find on Amazon. But for that one, I'm going to have a sign up or an order form.
Yes.
But it'll be after Love in Vegas.
Yep. All right. Great.
Yeah.
Well, you've teased that you have other stuff that you're working on, maybe outside of the Secrets series. I need you to tell me. I need you to give me a little taste.
A little taste.
What is coming next? Whether it's a trope or a timeline, like when is it coming? You can tell me. There's no one here.
There's no one here. No. I talked about how I wanted to write this book, and that is kind of what I'm working on now. And it is Step Siblings. So that is kind of, I've done a lot of work on that. I don't have an exact timeline. It might be next year. It kind of depends on a few things, but that is what I'm working on. And they are so obsessed with each other. Of course. I mean, it's a book by me, but they are, I feel like authors say this all the time when they're working on a book or when they just finish a book, like, this is my favorite, but these two may be my favorite. I love writing characters that have known each other for a very long time.
Yes.
You can see their familiarity. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Our Little Secret. I love writing books where there isn't like a familial thing too. But I think that's why, people like my taboo book so much, because I really do create this sense of like family, but it's romantic. I don't really know how I do it, but I love writing it. Like, I love that they're, in the first chapter, like there's so much familiarity, and that you can see it from the pages. Now, even though you don't know their familiarity as much, they're like saying things that like referencing things from years ago, and they're step siblings, but they have been in each other's lives since they were 3 and 4. So they are babies.
No age gap. Just
no, it's not an age gap. And the reason why there's no age gap is because there's so much that's going to take place when they're kids.
Yes.
That it wouldn't work. I mean, and I've done siblings.
Yes.
Adopted, but Always Been You, there was an age gap with that. And, he's out of the house for most of the book. This to really, I'm going to be hammering the taboo on this. It had to be like same age. I mean, they're a year apart. So,
yes.
But Yeah,
Oh,
they are hot.
that is very
It's
exciting.
a lot of definitely a lot of like we shouldn't be doing this. Like
Yeah.
so much of that. And yeah.
I love step siblings. I mean, I feel like obviously since I do also love like guardian ward like situations, like that's just listen, it's what's wrong with keeping it in the we're not actually related, but it's keeping it in the family.
Hello.
There's nothing wrong with it. And I, like you mentioned, I feel like I say one of the reasons I love, like, why I don't mind age gap romances where they've been in each other's lives for a while is because I love that familiarity within characters. I love when characters have very good history with each other and they're comfortable around each other. And I feel like it just adds more to the tension, like with what was meant to be, just from right off the bat when they get reunited after their little time apart, you're just like, oh, yes. It's so good because you already know how obsessed they are with each other because they've spent this time with each other previously. So I think it just adds a little extra layer. And you writing step siblings, oh, I'm very excited.
Yeah, no, they are. Whew. Yeah, I've already written their first romance scene, and the book is going to take place in the present where they're older, like early 20s. They're not like.
I was going to ask, is it going to flash back or is it just going to?
Yes, there will be flashbacks, but I think a lot of people will agree with this. I'm not comfortable writing love scenes when they're underage, so there will be flashbacks, but it's not going to be like you're going to know as the reader that they lost their virginity to each other, but it's not going to be like on page. But there'll be like a ton of flashbacks to just show like why they are the way that they are.
Yeah.
So it's going to be actually a little bit on the darker side. So like not a dark romance, but more like kind of she is going to have like Maddie's history. So like in terms of like why it is a step family situation.
Yeah.
So
I was just gonna say, I was like, oh, it sounds like unconditional. Obviously sign me up.
Yeah, it's gonna have definitely those vibes and not so like again, not dark, but just those themes.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be screaming over it. Cannot wait. I feel like I did not know that you were doing this, so I'm very, very
talked about it on my stories, but that's really it. So if you're not like, and it was on like a Q&A day, so if you like missed that day watching my stories, you wouldn't have seen it. It's not like a huge secret, but I just haven't really been like haven't like announced like this is what I'm doing.
Well, I'm very excited. The people will be losing their minds. And I mean, going with that, now that we have step siblings, we have boss employee, which you love to do also like a parent's best friend, a dad's best friend, a parent's best friend. Are there any tropes like or forbidden, like taboo-ish dynamics that you haven't written yet that maybe you want to? Or you dream about maybe one day, whether it's however long from now.
I do want to write that TikTok that everyone was like tagging me in. I know you saw that, right? It was like a TikTok about, and there was like a podcast, and it was am I the asshole? And she's like, am I the asshole? ... I'm definitely the asshole for sleeping with my ex's affair baby 23 years later.
No, I actually haven't. I know that like thing, but I haven't seen that. What? That is true.
Yes. I'll send you the link when we're finished. But yeah, basically he's in a relationship with this woman. She cheats on him, gets pregnant. He thinks the baby's his, but ends up not being it. So they break up. He goes his own way, whatever. He comes back to town or something, meets the daughter. She's 18 and they hook up. Please.
What? That literally sounds like something that you.
Yes, and the amount of people that tagged me in that video, like either sent it to me or tagged me in it. So I was like, all right, I got it. I heard you.
That's so funny.
So although that feels kind of like love unexpected in some ways. Like it's, we both hooked up with the same man, mom and daughter. But it's like revenge sex also. So I'm gonna do that. I also want to do another teacher student, but one where she's in high school.
Yeah, excellent. She'll
be a senior. She'll be 18.
It's fine.
Maybe she'll be held back a year and be 19. I don't know. But
we need more, in my opinion. And I said this on my Instagram story, and people did agree. We need more like bimbo, party girl, female main characters. So if you want to write a girl who's a little dumb and maybe she does get held back a year in high school because she's just a little, maybe she was partying too hard.
Mhm.
She's a little, she needs to shape it up a little bit, but then she'll have an affair with her teacher, her guidance counselor. I don't know. They've done all of them at this point.
I do like guidance counselor. Maybe I'll do guidance counselor instead of teacher.
Go crazy. So I'm just saying, she could be held back. She could be 19.
Right. Or I'm just make her a little older.
Yeah.
Oh, and I want to do a football coach cheerleader.
That's incredible. And also
I have so many ideas.
I mean, I feel like also with the kind of books that you write, you can go crazy because there's so much to explore.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much to do. That's very exciting. Because I remember you mentioning in the past that you wanted to do cheerleader, football coach. And I was like, that is so brilliant. Why can't I think of any books off the top of my head where people have done that? Like, I feel like that's so niche. That's such a good niche. But why can't I think of any, like, why has no one really done that? I'm sure people have done it, but like,
yeah.
That's so good. So we'll see what happens. And listen, some of the best ideas happen from a TikTok. One of my author friends was inspired actually by one of my TikToks to write one of her books because I stitched a video of, it's Morgan Elizabeth, and she has confirmed this multiple times that this is true. For her book, 'Tis the Season for Revenge, I stitched a TikTok about a girl who was like, I mean, who knows if it was true or if she was bullshitting, but she was like, oh, when your ex is such a bitch that you like marry his boss. And she was like, she commented on the TikTok a while ago and she's like, no, Kelly, it's because I saw your TikTok that I was like,
oh, that's so funny. I mean, listen, TikTok be coming up, giving you like so many ideas. Like they
give you everything. Yeah. People have lived lives on TikTok.
Yes, for sure.
But that's very exciting.
There's been some comments. Do you want to go through some?
Yes, I was going to say, yes, there have been some comments on the side. Oh, someone said a love triangle with ex-boyfriend and his dad. You don't have any love triangles in really? No.
I mean, some people I feel like can say the bittersweet.
I was going to say the bittersweet to it, but
triangle vibes. But I mean, really, she was just cheating on him.
Yeah,
I don't love a love triangle like by any means. So I don't think that I would do very well at writing one because it would be so obvious who she was into, and she'd be treating the other one like shit. So I feel like that's not a real love triangle. That's just cheating. Like that's just, she might be messing around with two guys, but she clearly prefers one. Maybe she's with the other guy for convenience or something. Like I don't know that I would know how to write that.
Yeah. I think love triangles, they're so hard. And one of the only love triangles that I read that I really enjoyed was Pam Godwin has a series, and it is a love triangle, but she does end up with one person at the end. So I was like, okay, which I mean, obviously, I guess that's really how love triangles work. If
unless
it's not like an MMF situation, Holly. So, but because that's why I normally don't like love triangles either. Because I'm just like, why can't sharing be caring? Why can't we all just be together? So, but that one was good. That series from Pam. But other than that, yeah, I'm not a love triangle person either. But would you ever write more than one person or just two?
I get this question all the time. As it stands right now, probably no. There's just so many books I want to write that are not that. But I mean, I also don't read RH or really any poly. Sometimes I do. I mean, like I've read a couple, usually in like Omegaverse, but not typically. So I would say probably not. Maybe. But I don't have any plans to do so right now.
That's fine. You're too busy going to TikTok and writing a fair babies coming down. That's fine. I feel like with you also, every time you are brought up in the chat, everyone's like, just more ex-boyfriends' dads. All the ex-boyfriends.
So, it's so interesting. I've never technically written an ex-boyfriend's dad. The Worst Kept Secret was supposed to be that. And then it got out of control and I got lost. I got confused. I lost the plot and then it was her friend. So originally it was supposed to be ex-boyfriend's dad. And that's why like he has feelings for her, because that was just like as close as I could get them. So it's so interesting that I don't, or that I haven't written one, or that I'm not like crazy about the idea of writing one. I do think that they're hot, but for some reason there's something in me that's like, I don't know. I don't read a ton of Ex-Boyfriend's Dad, honestly. Like, I've read like some, but not like, that's not, if I'm reading an age gap romance, like Ex-Boyfriend's Dad's not going to sell me. Like, that trope won't sell me. And I don't know why. I don't know why that is.
That is so interesting.
I know. It is very, I guess because I write the books that I do write are so like, she's only ever had eyes for the hero. Like, you know, she's been in love with him her whole life. So like, an Ex-Boyfriend's Dad would have required her to have been in love with someone else first.
Yeah.
And I would have to write essentially kind of their relationship too. Unless I really just was like, you know, they're breaking up in the first chapter or whatever, or I don't know, maybe I'll write like a little saucy novella where
I was gonna say, you could always do a little novella if you didn't want to fully commit to the bit. Even though I will say, I feel like a lot of Ex-Boyfriend's Dads, because I do love that trope, they don't feature the ex. Like, they don't feature them in a relationship with the ex. They're like broken up because they're just like, well, the ex sucks. So we're not.
Do like, you know what I do like? Okay, I do like this. And this, I guess, is proof that I do like cheating. I do like father-in-law.
That is so, yes.
I do like when like, okay, wait, I've read this before, or like, you know, a few times, where like the husband like doesn't pay her that much attention, like, and she starts sleeping with the father. I read one where it was on their wedding night. I was like, oh Lord, this is so unhinged, but it was so good. It was so hot.
I love Father-in-Law. I think, did I read, was it does Katie Robert have a father-in-law one? She has her whole Taboo series, which has like every
dynamic. I need to read whatever that series is. I haven't read her.
Yeah, you haven't read those yet? The Touch of Taboo series from Katie Robert?
Oh, wait.
Have
Gifting to my best friend, or
yes,
I read one of those. Yes.
You know what's really tragic is I think it's officially on pause, even though I think the book might still be up on Goodreads, because I feel like she talks about it and is like, this was supposed to happen. She was supposed to do like a wedding one, but it was like a bride, a groom, and like the maid of honor or something. It was supposed to be something with like the dynamic of like a wedding as another book in that series, and it sounded so good because again, it was like something that I've never read before. And then she's like, no, it's like on pause, like I don't know if it's gonna happen. But I was like, this is a tragedy because it sounded so good. But that series is very, very, very good. There's a Guardian Ward one in that one. There is a Dad's Best Friend. So it's just all.
I think I read that one. I think I read the Dad's Best Friend one.
Probably. So, and then there's there's Gifting Me to His Best Friend. So there's like Husband's Best Friend, whatever. So yeah, that series is great. And they're all novellas. They're very short. So they get the job done, because those little books are some of the hottest books actually that I've ever read. So they're very, very good. So you can always do a little novella. You could do like a novella daddy series. You could do Ex-Boyfriend's Dad. You could do Father-in-Law. You could go crazy.
I could.
If you never want to commit. Because you also write I think, you know, you're good at writing like shorter books, or if you want to go a little bit longer, because like the Campus Tales series.
Yes, those are shorter, and Season of Secrets is a little bit longer than those, but yeah, those are also a little bit short. But definitely my sweet spot is like 300 pages.
Yeah.
Just usually by the end, I'm like, all right, I'm tired. Yeah. How many times can they have sex?
That's why we get along, because your books are nice and short and to the point, and they don't go on too long. And listen, I'm not a hater of long books, even though I do love to criticize books that I think go on for too long. But you especially with like a little spicy book, like you write, they're the perfect little length. That's why What Was Meant to Be, I knocked the audiobook out in one day. I listened on 3 times speed, so it was a nice
oh my Lord.
I like them to be little chipmunks.
Clearly.
But they're sexy chipmunks. They're sexy chipmunks.
Sexy chipmunks. Oh my gosh. I feel like I can't even understand what they're saying. Like, it's not that they're chipmunks. I just don't know what words are saying.
No, you get so used to it. You get very, very used to it. So how has it been being, I know you're in control of your audiobooks and everything.
Well, not all of them, but
Not all of them, some of them. But have you been having fun with audiobooks and like picking narrators and everything? Because I know you've been doing that more. And again, now I feel like your books are having a simultaneous, for the most part, audiobook, Kindle release, or they're within a couple weeks. Like, it depends. I know Keep Her Safe came out a little later, the audio.
Yeah, no, for sure. This was the one that was the most, I mean, it was a simultaneous. So this has been my closest. The Worst Kept Secret was kind of close. That was like
I feel like it was
3 months-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will see if going forward. I mean, the Season of Secrets is coming to audio next, and that's already been out. So that'll be an audio, I don't know, in September, I think. So that obviously is not going to be simultaneous. And then another book of mine will be coming to audio later this year.
Oh, now I'm like, which ones don't have?
I mean, if you like went through my backlist, you could figure out which one it is.
Okay. Well, that's exciting. That's exciting. That's exciting. Because again, I love your books on audio. I need to get the Unconditional audiobook. I can't remember if I have it.
You don't have it?
No, what? I don't think I can't.
You didn't get an ALC?
No, and I remember I was really upset because they were giving away them codes and I didn't get one. And I said, this is my favorite book of all time. This is a tragedy.
Oh, yeah, no, listen, let me tell you something.
I was like, this is
that audio
tragedy.
Christian Fox. Yeah, I cannot.
If there's one book that I believe would literally be,
there's the scene where he takes her virginity, him asking her if she's okay, and he like chokes it out. Listen, I can hear it. I know what pitch it's in. I know everything about how he says that because I've listened to it so many times. And,
what pitch it's in? Let me see. Oh, you know what? I do have it, but I bought it. Okay, yeah, I did. I did buy the audiobook.
I will. Yes, it is. It is an experience. Like
There they are.
I don't even feel bad saying this, like, because it's not like it's my, I'm not the one narrating it. I feel like some of these audiobooks, they make my book better. Like, they totally just elevate it to another level. Like, Unconditional audiobook. Oh my gosh. And that was the first time I had done one myself.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what? Oh, wow. Like, this is something. My Keep Her Safe audio, amazing. What Was Meant to Be audio, oh my God. J.F. Harding and Jennifer Young, they did such a great job.
Yeah.
So I've been very pleased with all of my audiobooks. So
they're great. Like I said, I did Always Been You on audio. I did Love Unexpected on audio because those are the ones that were out at the time. I did Forget Me Not on audio. So they were
those were my earlier ones, I think.
Exactly. More of rolled out.
Yeah. But they all were
they're great. They're so good. So, but okay, great. I can't wait to re-listen. I'm gonna have to mentally prepare myself to listen to.
No, when you're listening to Unconditional, I'm telling you, Kelly, it is a journey. It's a masterpiece. Like, and the way they both narrate young Maddie is so good. Like, it is one of my favorite things is how the female narrator narrates a little girl essentially, and even how he does her when she's little. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Please. So good.
Do you notice like a resurgence in the books, both obviously with like audio and like Kindle popularity as they get audiobooks and like more people check them out? Because I feel like audiobooks are so massive now and they're a really great way for people to discover new authors and then dip into their backlist. And some people simultaneously read, they'll do audio and Kindle depending. So like when Unconditional came out on audio, did you notice like another little like resurgence of love for it, or it was more
honestly, I made the mistake of releasing it right when The Worst Kept Secret came out. Literally, it was the next day. So I like wasn't focusing on those ebooks.
Yeah.
I can't really remember. it'll be interesting to see how the Season of Secrets does, because that book did so well in ebook, and now it's going to be in audio. So I think I'll be able to tell then, because it's been like a year since that book came out. Well, like 10 months. So that will be like the test, I feel like, because I can't really tell from Unconditional. The Worst Kept Secret was already still, like, it was still doing well when the audio came out. So I maybe saw like a little jump, but it was already, you know, right now this series is, I mean, What Was Meant to Be always performs, but this series is definitely like in the second place.
Good. I feel like this series is just, I feel like I see so many people reading it, loving it, even as their first QB books. I think they're good introductions too, because even though it's like, sure, we have some cheating, we have, you know, best friend's dad, I think they're good QB introduction books, because they're spicy, they're fun, they're well paced, and they're so just like addicting. Like, they start off with a bang, and then you just like,
I waste no time.
No,
we don't have time to mess around. We need to get
you don't know what those
what
I said, what are slow burns?
No,
you don't know.
Commented something and said, oh, maybe Tiffany, and she said something about a slow burn. I was like, a slow burn? What's that? I have no idea. I can't cut. I have no concept.
I was gonna say, not around here. We don't know when slow.
Nope.
Because even if they're not doing something spicy, like, the tension is there. You just feel the angst. Like, this book, so angsty, so good.
Yeah. From this moment he walks up when she's on the phone, he's like, go ahead, get off the phone. We got to talk.
As you can see, if you're watching this now or when people watch it later on YouTube, I do think you should read this one immediately. Read all of them, but like, you will have so much fun. You're going to read this book if you haven't yet, and you're going to thank me later. You're going to be like, Kelly, what was this? I'm like, it was a masterpiece, right? And then again, these ones go pretty hand in hand, I would say. So you'll have a great time.
Yeah.
So, and again, I don't have my Unconditional copy, but that's my QB, like, top. Also, I don't have my second semester. I love second semester. I have my copy hiding somewhere.
Oh, I was gonna say, I thought you had
I have one. I have a second semester, but I'm just like, I don't have my copy with me. But honestly, Justice for second semester and the Campus Tales series books, because those are so good. There's another cheating one in there.
Spring semester, and it is my least performing book. But you know what? I understand why. Like, they were so toxic and annoying. But you know, my other cheating books do better, so that's okay.
Yeah. But honestly, I love Campus Tales. We need a Campus Tales resurgence, because I feel like more and more college romances, but like spicy college romances, are on the rise, even if they're not sports, because they don't all have to be sports. They can just be set in college. And Campus Tales is so good. I loved first semester and second semester. I binged them back.
Oh my gosh. I mean, sometimes I like think about my writing in that, and it's just like, oh, this is not my strongest. But I know a lot of people love it. And I had started Peyton's book, that's Skylar and Layton's third roommate. And I just kind of lost the, like, I think I'm gonna have to like rewrite the tropes, because originally it was like bad girl, good boy, like that. Like, he's like very nerdy. He's like a TA in her class. Obviously, she's a party girl. She's not a virgin. She's very, you know, loose.
She's a party girl. She's
more of a partier than Layton and Skylar. So I was like, I want someone who's going to be the polar opposite of her. But now I'm thinking, like, maybe I need like an older guy that's like, no, girl, we're going to get you in line. Like,
did I not just say we need more party girl romances? Like, I'm telling you, there's a market. And again, her being in college or even if she just finished college, like, it's the perfect setting. It's too good. Great. I'll just keep annoying you every time I see you. I'll be like, where's my party girl romance? Well, you can give me one. I know you can. And exactly, she gets whipped into shape by a hot older man.
Yeah. Maybe I'll rework it, because I had like 6 or 7 chapters already written of it. But I was just like,
Yeah.
it's not hot. Like, I'm over this. Lucas's book. I'm like, these kids are too young. Like, I can't handle these boys.
She said, "This is not hot. We have to move on to something that's hot." Like my step things.
Yes, I'm trying to think when I was writing that, and then I think I wrote Keep Her Safe instead. So I was like, no, gotta go.
Mm-hmm. Keep Her Safe is also a really good one where if people aren't the biggest like taboo forbidden romance people and they don't know where to start with you, because I had some friends who I'm like, oh, I definitely know there are probably some QB books in her backlist, like maybe won't be for you just because of like ages and stuff. Like I know with heavy age gaps, but I was like, Keep Her Safe. Keep Her Safe you would really enjoy.
Rec at signings, like when I ask people like, do you like taboo forbidden? They're like, I'm like, that you hesitated, so no. Read Keep Her Safe. And I wrote that book because I needed a book that was not taboo. I was like, I need to have something that people can read if they do not want to read a cheating book or taboo age gap. So, I mean, because you just knocked out my whole backlist if you don't like those two things.
It's true. It's true. Because it actually is true. If you don't know, because I know this from being an author assistant at signings, when you go to book signings and the author, if there's an author who you don't know, people will come up to your table and be like, oh, like, what are these books about? And, you are obviously you're in a little niche. So you're like, oh, well, I am a taboo, forbidden, a lot of age gaps, a lot of daddies, romance author. And if that's not for everyone, you can also be like, but I do also have Bodyguard.
When I say Bodyguard, people's eyes light up. They're like, oh, I love that. I love Bodyguard romance.
So that's good. I love that you were literally like, well, my backlist. I need something in the roster that's a little bit
something. But yes, still spicy, but not
still spicy, still sexy, still obviously forbidden because it's, a celebrity bodyguard, but it's not like he's, she's been living in his house since she was a child.
Yeah.
It's not stepdad. It's not, stepbrother. It's just a simple, it's just her bodyguard.
Just her bodyguard.
I'm actually obsessed with that. I wish I could witness someone coming up to your table being like, oh, I'm not like a taboo.
Listen, it's awkward sometimes. Yeah. My favorite is when they say, when I ask, because I always say, do you like age gap, forbidden, taboo? And they'll be like, no. Or they say, yes, I have no triggers. And then I'll be like, oh, okay, well, like, here's this one. And then I'll explain, like, what was meant to be. And they'll look at me like, I was like, that no trigger went away real fast. What do you mean? You said you had no triggers. Like,
I know the QB table at signings is the fun table. I know. I wish I could be here. I need to be put next to you one time with someone, and I want to witness the explaining.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing you going.
Alexandra and Tanya, they kind of handle that. Because I don't even. They'll ask me. They'll be like, "What book would you recommend?" And I'll like look at them, like, I don't know, y'all. I don't know, all of them. So they kind of take care of like, this is what you should read. Like, if you like this, then read this. If you like this, then read this. Yeah. But I have caught, a few like, oh, I have no triggers, and then looking at us like we're crazy because we recommended Dad's Best Friend. Like,
I know.
Please, I could have given you Unconditional. I never recommend Unconditional. Absolutely not.
I'm
not a recommend if you are new.
I do recommend Unconditional, but again, if I know someone who's new to your books, I'm going to be like, maybe wait, maybe give it a second, maybe build yourself up. But yeah, I'm just imagining like Tanya, Alexandra, whoever at the table, like, yeah, this is her step. Well, this is her godfather, parents' best friend, 20 plus year age gap. And people being like, oh, okay. And then them just being like, it's really hot. Trust me.
Yeah. They truly be peddling my smut.
You be pushing those books. Someone asked, is Lucas's book a reverse age gap? Would you do a reverse age gap? Because you haven't done one.
I would. Well, technically that is what I'm leaning towards. I changed Lucas's book around many times, which is why I was like, no, we need to put you on the shelf for a second because I don't even know what direction I'm going in. But I do think that that is where I'm going to go with it. Just because I think that would be, I'd want to write that. But two, I'm not good at really, I feel like writing a younger man. Like I really was struggling with his book. But I think in a reverse age gap, like he's going to have to show much more like maturity. And I can just kind of write him like a daddy, like not like daddy vibes, but just like more mature because he's going to be dating this older woman. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Have you read The Pool Boy by Nikki Sloan?
I have not.
Because that's a reverse age gap, but I feel like that one does a really good job of, even though he is younger, he is very mature. Like he does not pull young.
Yeah.
At all.
And that is, I think what I was struggling with when people would ask me about reverse age gaps. Cause I'm like, I want to write like a frat boy, like, or like, you know, like someone who's 23 who may be like kind of immature because let's be real, 23-year-old boys are immature. Like 33-year-old boys are immature. Like, please. So I'm like, I really struggled with that. But now I'm kind of like, oh, I'll just write them like he's 40, please. He'll be a grandpa.
Listen, no,
old at heart.
He can be an old soul.
Yes,
no one will know. And honestly, already he's been through so much. He's got some growing up.
Yeah.
Up.
Exactly. I mean, his brother-in-law is 40, 43.
Yeah.
He's close with his dad. So of course he would be like,
it makes sense for him to just be young in number, but actually daddy at heart.
Yes, exactly.
So I think a reverse age gap would be really fun. Again, that's another trope that I really love, but I don't read as much because I just like age gap in any form. And I think reverse age gaps are so fun. But yeah, really aside from the Nikki Sloan one, I'm like, what other ones?
I liked, obviously Lessons in Corruption. I liked that.
Oh yeah, of course. But that one, even for that one, I feel like I don't consider that to be like the biggest reverse age gap in the world. Cause like Pool Boy is like, she's divorced. So like, but she's like way older. Like a housewife, like in the neighborhood. And I love that vibe so much. It's such a good, like, again, neighborhood. One thing about you is you're also going to put the people in like the little neighborhood, the little nosy neighborhood.
Yeah. So I've read The Frat Boy. That's part of that, right?
Yes. It's part of
the Doctor. So
yes.
I've read 2 of them. I think there's 5, right?
Yes. I have to catch up with that series, but yeah, that's a great like taboo series. I'm sure people who have read your books have also read that series. And also
Nikki and I have very similar crossover of readers.
It's actually really funny. I'm always like, if I see someone who loves Welcome to the Dark Side by Gianna, I'm like, oh, have you read Unconditional by QB Tyler? Because maybe you'll find it acceptable.
It's very funny that you say that because both of us, like, those are each other's favorite books by the other. Like, Unconditional is hers and Welcome to the Dark Side is mine. So it's like,
Unconditional? Oh my God, I actually didn't know that. That's really fun. Makes a lot of sense.
Yes, we are. We twin flames.
Makes a lot of sense. That's really funny. All right. Well, we are coming up to an hour, but before the hour ends, what signings, where will you be the rest of the year? Where can people spot you? Is it just Vegas?
I'll be in Vegas in October, and that's it. That's kind of like, that's it. And then I think there's some in September, but I'm not going to any of those. I'm tired. I'm steamy lit, like just the travel coming home that wore me out.
Yeah.
I will be in Phoenix in February for the Wild and Windy, and then I do Magic with the Bells in March in Florida, and then a Polycon in DC in April, and then Wild and Windy in May in Chicago. So, and then Canada for the BB4E in July. So I will be quite a few places next year.
Look at you traveling. Oh, that's so fun. Well, I'll be in Vegas. So.
Oh, okay. So I'll see you in 2 months.
Yeah. I can't believe that that's coming up soon.
I know, we just left.
I know it actually really does. And if you didn't know, QB had a very big travel day yesterday. She had a very long travel day. So
That was
everyone,
something.
she's so great for being here.
Oh,
I
of course. Yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna go sleep. But
take a nap, take a nice long nap for the rest of the week.
yeah,
So, but yeah, I know a lot of people are having travel issues right
it's
now.
so crazy right now. Like it's just I don't know if it's like, residual from the outage and just I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know what it is.
My best friend was flying back to Chicago from the wedding that we went to, and she had both of her flights were canceled, and she had to get
Oh,
another one like to get back. So she had travel issues also. I'm like, everyone is
okay.
just, it's a crazy time.
Yeah.
So,
You said this was yesterday?
like 2 days ago,
Oh,
2 days.
okay. Yeah, it's
So it's wild out there. And it's very funny. My friend Giovanni, she's probably not here right now, but I'll tell her to come here. She is literally someone written by you. She is one of your
what?
She is one of your female main characters. She's so gorgeous. She's one of my beautiful best friends. And I was like looking at her photos from the wedding that I took of her. We were both bridesmaids, and I'm like, look at this gorgeous girl. I was like, she is written by QB Tyler, and she's one of the only people that I know in the flesh that I'm like, you were written by an author who I love. Like,
Gosh, I love that. That's so fun.
I have to tell her to read your book. She's more of a fantasy girl, but I have to be like, Giovanni, I need you to read a book by this author and tell me that you are not one of her main characters, because I know you are. She pulls very much like she's one of your main characters for sure, and it's really cute. But I was like, one day you just have to write a little redhead for me.
Okay.
So
Right. Just for you.
just so I can insert myself, or even if she's a friend of someone, but she has a daddy as well, like a daddy boyfriend, just in the back.
Okay, I got you.
Like, that's my little redhead friend. There's her super rich older man who's like 25 years older
I'll
than
manifest it for. I'm gonna write it down and I'll manifest for you.
That's what I need. I need just all of the manifestation that I can get. Because if I could have a QB man, wouldn't all my problems be solved?
Same, to be honest.
I was telling QB, I was like, I'm listening to Hamilton today in my musical playlist, and I said, well, that's not fair. Where's my man to take me to Hamilton in the city, and also then take care of me when I get a little sick? Are we not talking about quickly this one? There's a great scene in here where he takes care of her when she's sick, and it's really, really cute. So underrated. I don't know if you pointed that out in any of the trope posts, but there is a cute little
I do love a he takes care of her when she's sick thing, and I don't really do that often.
You don't. I love that too.
Yeah. So,
but
I need to start doing that more.
You should, in the step siblings.
Yeah. Oh no, that's for sure. There's gonna be lots of that. Well, not just a lot of like him taking care of her, so maybe she can't be sick.
Is that going to be a full standalone?
Yes.
Just like one solid.
So it will be a complete standalone, but I am considering having like a cameo from another Taboo book in it.
Oh, which one is the one?
You have to like think about it, I guess.
Oh, that's exciting. I'm also terrible with pointing out or noticing anything in books, so someone else will have to point it out for me, but that's very exciting.
I think you would notice.
Oh, would I? Okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like just a random, it's like a main character from another book.
Yeah, okay. Great. Listen, but okay. Well, we have reached an hour. We're done. We did it. Thank you so much again for popping on.
Yeah,
thank you anyone who came in and hung out. A lot of excitement. People do want ex-boyfriend's dad, ex-father of the bride, not father of the bride, father-in-law.
Well, I mean,
they want something.
Sure, that's out there too. I don't know if I'll be doing that, but father of the groom, yes, I'm that.
The novella series. Stay tuned. In how many years from now we'll get the novella daddy series.
Listen, I be tired.
I know. They'll come eventually, but definitely check out QB's books if you haven't and you're watching this later on YouTube. If you like me and my taste, trust and believe you will love her book. She is the taboo, forbidden, age gap, daddy queen. I dare you to read one of these gems and not wish that you had a QB man. Our Little Secret is out now. We have audiobook and it's on Kindle Unlimited. All of the books are on Kindle Unlimited, by the way, if you didn't know. So you can get on your Kindle, get your audiobook, get your sexy paperback. And yeah, that is all for everything. Follow QB on her social medias as well. She has Instagram, TikTok. I do have her Instagram linked in the description of this video. And thank you, QB, again for joining. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.